Hello and welcome to our special coverage of the cash cleanup drive by the Modi government. The Prime Minister addressed a rally in Goa today and reiterated his commitment to clean up the Indian economy. So let's listen into that.
मैंने सिर्फ देश से 50 दिन मांगे हैं, 50 दिन। 30 दिसंबर तक मुझे मौका दीजिए मेरे भाई। अगर 30 दिसंबर के बाद कोई मेरी कमी रह जाए, कोई मेरी गलती निकल जाए, कोई मेरा गलत इरादा निकल जाए, आप जिस चौराहे में मुझे खड़ा करेंगे, मैं खड़ा होकर के देश जो सजा करेगा वो सजा भुगतने के लिए तैयार है।
काले धन के खिलाफ, भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ मैं जो लड़ाई लड़ रहा हूं, देश जो लड़ाई लड़ रहा है, हिंदुस्तान का ईमानदार इंसान जो लड़ाई लड़ रहा है, उस दिशा में एक अहम कदम उठाया है। लेकिन कुछ लोग हैं जो अपने ही ख्यालों में खोए रहते हैं। वे अपनी नाप पट्टी लेकर के ही किसी को नापते रहते हैं और उसमें फिट नहीं होता है तो देखते हैं कुछ गड़बड़। आप मुझे बताइए भाइयों बहनों, 2014 में आपने वोट दिया था, भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ दिया था कि नहीं दिया था? काले धन के खिलाफ काम करने के लिए आपने मुझे कहा था कि नहीं कहा था? आपने मुझे कहा था तो मुझे करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए? मैं भाइयों बहनों कुर्सी के लिए फायदा नहीं है। मेरे देशवासियों, मैंने घर, परिवार, सब कुछ देश के लिए छोड़ा है।
Okay, that's the Prime Minister addressing a rally in Goa saying that yes, he will continue the fight against black money. Meanwhile, the Reserve Bank of India has said that enough cash in small denominations is available at banks. Therefore, the public need not be anxious. The central bank has also requested the public not to come repeatedly to banks and hoard money. It says enough cash will be available when needed. Alright, government officials have also told CNBC TV18 that the money supply is not an issue, currency being printed in sufficient numbers, though they say that there are logistical challenges to get ATMs loaded and the recalibration of notes will take some time. They add that the government is closely monitoring the situation and doing its best to resolve issues. Okay, and how are people across the country dealing with this cash situation? Our reporters are on the ground in various cities. So let's go first to Timsi, who joins in from Delhi. Timsi, over to you.
Hi. I'm here since morning in CP, the heart of the city. CP usually is shut on Sunday, but today CP has so much of footfall that you can't even imagine. Why? For a simple reason that people are queuing outside ATMs, people are queuing outside bank branches. You can see people are here waiting patiently since morning, waiting for their turn to come so that they can enter, they can get their money exchanged and get it deposited. Now, silently working along with the people and the government are people who are here, who have their restaurants, they are serving water, they are serving food. And here I am in front of a very popular joint called Hot Mess. People from Hot Mess, since morning, they open at 12, but today they were open at 10. And they were serving water. They've served water at least 10 times by now, and they're serving it again and again. I have a Hot Mess manager with me. Sir, since morning you've been here. You normally open up late. Today you're working early. What are you doing here?
We last watching 3 to 4 days here, very long queue, and people are waiting for the banks and ATMs. They doesn't have to anything for the eating and drinking. Yesterday we distributed some sandwiches, and today we distributed more than around 5 to 600 water pouches for the people who can have, and they will very calm and cool, and they can get the money from the banks, and they can use the money for a daily basis.
So this is a clear intention by the people of India to help the country overcome such a big move. They are working silently along with the government, to be precise, not in the system, doing a free seva. But let me tell you, people also here are silently waiting. This is a lunch time when the bank is shut for lunch. But bank people are also hurrying up their lunch hours. Usually it's an hour or so. They are finishing it in 20 to 15 minutes. And they are just getting the queue move fastly. There are people who are coming in again and again. But there is a cool and calm environment out here. People are standing in queues. The only request is by women and senior citizens that there should be a separate women line. There should be a separate line for senior citizens. But yes, the mood is quite calm. People are here out on a Sunday using their holiday to get their money exchanged for the coming week. Back to you.
Okay, Timsi, well put then. The mood is currently cool and calm coming in from Delhi at this point, just about going about in terms of what has to be done despite it being a Sunday and a holiday for everybody. But Kevin Lee joins in from Mumbai as well, and he's going to give us a status check on the situation in the city as well. Kevin, over to you.
I'm standing in a crowded market area near Versova in Andheri, Mumbai. There are a lot of chemists and kirana shops here who have been impacted because of Prime Minister Modi's demonetization scheme. There's a medical shop here. I was just speaking to the owner, and he said that while he was accepting old 500 and 1000 rupee notes until today, now he's run out of change, so there's no option. Sir, ये scheme की वजह से आपके business पे कितना मतलब impact हुआ है?
बहुत impact हुआ है. किसी के पास छुट्टा नहीं है, किसी को 2000 का नोट देती है बैंक, तो हमारे पास देने के लिए छुट्टा नहीं है.
तो क्या आप आज तक 500 और 1000 रुपए के नोट एक्सेप्ट कर रहे थे?
हम लोग के पास जब तक का छुट्टा था, जब तक हम लोग ने एक्सेप्ट किया. बाकी छुट्टा नहीं है तो इसके लिए हम लोग एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते. कस्टमर रिटर्न जाता है.
लेकिन अगर अभी अगर आपके पास एक कस्टमर आता है और उनको दवाई खरीदने और उसके पास छुट्टा नहीं है और आपके पास भी छुट्टा नहीं है, तो आप क्या कर रहे हो? उनको नहीं बोल रहे हो, मतलब आप नहीं सर्व कर पा रहे हो उनको?
नहीं, तो हम लोग उनको ऑप्शन देते हैं कि भाई क्रेडिट कार्ड यूज करो. क्रेडिट कार्ड नहीं यूज जो नहीं कर सकता है तो फिर हम लोग बोलते हैं कि चेक दे दो. अल्टरनेटिव तो कुछ ना कुछ करना पड़ेगा बिजनेस करने के लिए.
और आपको क्या लगता है ये कितने दिन चलेगा, ये जो इम्पैक्ट है ये स्कीम का?
चेंज नहीं आएगा जब तक तो प्रॉब्लम रहेगा ही.
Okay, well, real on-ground challenges of really no change, even though people have 2000 rupee notes. So that's really the predicament that a lot of people are going through, even in terms of buying medical supplies. But for more on how e-commerce businesses are now dealing with the current situation, we're joined by Hari Menon, the CEO of Big Basket. Hari, hi, thank you very much for taking the time out. First, wanted to start with, whether or not you all are continuing with cash on delivery at this point in time, or are you not at this point, given the current situation?
Yeah, we continue with cash on delivery at this point in time. But obviously, the percentage of people buying using cash on delivery has dropped drastically. And what has really gone up is the percentage of people who really use, prepaid mechanisms like using their wallets or using their cards, etc. So that ratio, which earlier used to be 50-50, has now almost become 80-20, where 80% of the people are prepaid. The good thing is that we're not, seeing any decrease in sales. In fact, there's tremendous amount of traffic that's coming in right now, and buying, groceries online. So that's the good news that we're seeing actually sales, going up.
Okay, so how much have sales increased since the announcement?
So right now the sales has gone up, close to about between 10 and 15%. But my I suspect that we could have possibly generated a lot more sales, but capacity constraints that we have, because we hadn't planned for this, right? And for us to plan for increased capacity takes at least 2 to 3 weeks. Basically, that increased capacity includes things like getting more vans and getting more people. So it can't be done overnight. So whatever is the buffer extra capacity that we've created has got completely used up, which is about 10-15%. But I suspect that if we had capacity, business could have gone up by 25-30%.
Okay. That's exactly what I was coming to, because is there any real shortage of grocery items at this point?
Oh, absolutely no. Not for players like us, because the shortage will happen in where people use cash to make payments, right? And that's where people will run into shortages. But as far as we are concerned, all our payments are to our suppliers are completely digital. And you'll be happy to note that all our payments, including to farmers that we make, because almost about nationally about 60-65% of what we sell in terms of fruits and vegetables comes directly from farmers. And in a city like Bangalore, it's 85% of what we sell comes directly from farmers. And you'll be happy to note that all our payments, including to farmers, are done digitally. We transfer money directly to the accounts. So because of which we see no shortage in supplies.
Okay, so you're not seeing a shortage in supplies right now. You mentioned that all your suppliers are digitally paid, if I'm not mistaken. You mentioned that. So right now there's no real, logistical concern when it comes to your supply chain at this point, because that seems to be going on as per schedule. But your suppliers probably are also facing a cash crunch or a credit crunch on their side of operations. So is there any supply disruption at all which is taking place, maybe not from your side, but from the supply chain in general?
No, supply chain in general, would face an issue, because if there are suppliers who actually, get paid in cash. So anywhere that you see cash transactions, right, that's what's going to get hit on the supply side, right? And so that doesn't impact large players, right, in the market, because most large players would not use, cash as a payment mechanism to suppliers. But really the smaller trade is what gets affected.
So where are you getting hit in your supply chain?
We are actually not getting hit in our supply chain. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
We are actually, because of our payments being digital, suppliers are getting paid. And so suppliers make supplies to us, right? For people who pay the suppliers in cash is where the struggle is, right? And fundamentally, I don't think there is any shortage from a supplier standpoint. The suppliers don't have any shortages there, right? Because, a Unilever or a Procter & Gamble, and the large players, won't face issues in supplying. Their issues would be, if people have to pay them in cash, then it's a problem, right?
Okay.
But most large, players like us, pay digitally, so there's no issue at all.
If required, is there a way in terms of the supply chain working on credit at all, given the current circumstances?
Well, it does work on credit, to some extent, right?
More so now as opposed to earlier. So is that being considered now?
Frankly, I can't state that, because are you talking about we giving credit to our customers?
I was going to ask you that as well. So you could combine that
standpoint. If I talk from a supplier perspective, I can't really talk on their behalf right now, in terms of whether they will extend credit further just to overcome this. My hunch is that I think they will look at some of the good customers whom they have. They might extend credit, but this is very difficult for me to comment.
And are you
giving credit to customers? We haven't found the need at all, because customers have simply moved to using cards and wallets, and it's we also have this card on delivery, right? So once we go to a customer place, if the customer has chosen cash on delivery and has a problem, they can still use the card on delivery, which our delivery boys carry. Okay,
that point is taken. So can you just give us a sense? You said 10 to 15% of business has increased. How much have your app downloads increased since the 9th of November? And also the number of ticket sizes in terms of, what is being ordered. Has the ticket size of the order increased?
No. There's not much change there from a ticket size perspective. But what will happen is customers will buy more, right, during the month. So the ticket size which they buy we haven't seen too much of a change, right? And we haven't seen too much of a change in the app downloads either.
Okay. And just to give an idea of what exactly has been ordered the most right now online, can you give us a sense in terms of where the spike is coming?
Oh, it continues to be fruits and vegetables, basic staples, and basic set of toiletries, which is what people are actually. That increase in sales is coming from this, because people are stocking up, thinking that there could be an issue.
Okay. All right, fair enough, Hari. We're going to let you go on that note. Thank you very much for joining in and speaking with us. So that is Big Basket saying that their, in fact, business has increased 10 to 15%, but nonetheless, they are not facing any sort of credit crunch or cash crunch when it comes to their supply chain at this point in time. But let's move on then. How is the transport sector dealing with the cash situation? My colleague Prashant Nair caught up with Namdeo Nivgreen, the Vice President of the Maharashtra Truck Owners Association. Here's an excerpt of that conversation.
जो कैश ट्रांजैक्शन बंद किया है बैंक से, एक 10 या 20 हजार रुपए हमको वीकली मिल रहा है। मेरे खुद की 50 गाड़ी है। आज गाड़ी मेरा JNPT से भर के रोड में खड़ी है क्योंकि हम लोग के पास कैश नहीं है। उसके वजह से बहुत दिक्कत हो रही है। मेरी नहीं, पूरा ऑल ओवर इंडिया में सब इंडस्ट्री का वही लग पड़ा है कि वो लोग सब खड़े रोड पे, पैसा नहीं है। 10,000 रुपए मिलता है, 20,000 रुपए मिल रहे, 3 अकाउंट 30,000 रुपए निकल सकता है। ज्यादा पैसा
मतलब ये कैश है जो आपको ड्राइवर को देना पड़ता है।
ड्राइवर को देना पड़ता है कैश के बिना हमारा चलेगा नहीं कि ड्राइवर को खाना पीना सब कैश में चलता है। और रोड में चलो टोल भी अभी गवर्नमेंट ने नहीं दे रहा है, वो ठीक है, लेकिन जो कैश की वजह से इतना दिक्कत आ रही है कि ये लोग, मुझे गुजारिश है,
डीजल का तो दिक्कत नहीं है, पेट्रोल फ्यूल का दिक्कत नहीं,
फ्यूल का दिक्कत नहीं, गवर्नमेंट ने अभी दिया करके नहीं है कि वो, लेकिन मुझे एक इनको सजेस्ट करना है कि हम लोग ट्रक के लिए कुछ अलग से ये करो कि कैश देना ज्यादा चालू करो ट्रक के लिए, क्यों कैश के बिना हमारा ट्रक चलेगा ना रोड पे।
तो अभी आपको क्या लगता है, महाराष्ट्र में आपको पूरा अंदाजा होगा कितना पिछले हफ्ते से कंपेयर जो अभी हफ्ता गया है, कितना बिजनेस कम कितना होगा इसकी वजह से?
हमारा 10% भी बिजनेस हुआ, गाड़ी खड़ी है, कुछ भी बिजनेस नहीं हुआ। स्टार्ट से गाड़ी भरे 50 में से मेरा 2 गाड़ी भी अभी तक पहुंची नहीं जगह पे, इतना मेरा दिक्कत है। अभी बहुत सारी गाड़ी खड़े, एक गाड़ी मेरी को मुझे टोल पे पैसा भरना है, जो महाराष्ट्र बाउंड्री में पैसा भरना है, उनका टैक्स का 20,000 रुपए भरना है, उसके लिए मेरे 2 दिन से गाड़ी खड़ी, मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है। ये दिक्कत है, बहुत सारी दिक्कत है हमारी।
आपका ही नहीं, आप इंडस्ट्री का फीडबैक,
इंडस्ट्री का है, मेरा अकेले का नहीं है, लाखों लोग का है। मेरे कम से कम 50 लाख गाड़ी खड़ी है महाराष्ट्र में आज, 50 लाख ट्रक खड़े हैं, पैसे के बिना खड़े हैं सब।
आप लोग ये भी एसोसिएशन में बात करते हैं, स्ट्राइक का बात करते हैं, अभी
हम लोग का मंडे हम लोग का फाइनल हो जाएगा, शायद हम मंडे या ट्यूसडे 2 दिन के बाद स्ट्राइक पे जाने के चक्कर में हम लोग है, सब एसोसिएशन हम लोग का बात चालू है।
तो लेकिन अभी आप ऑन होल्ड किया है, बिकॉज हमने सुना था कि मंडे से करेंगे, लेकिन
मंडे से करेंगे, मंडे सब एसोसिएशन एक जुट्टा मिल के सब करने वाले हैं। अभी चल रहा है, बात चल रही है।
Okay, well, some on-ground reality coming in. Multiple trucks just stopped standstill because of the lack of cash in order to operate day-to-day business. But we're going to take a break on that note. While we do that, we leave you with some more reactions from the ground itself.
I have to come by bus, 3 bus. I have to travel, spend another 1 hour time to come to this branch. And ATMs, the television channels are reporting that ATMs are functioning. But none of the ATMs are functioning. You can see here also the ATM is closed.
But still affected us only middle class people. Oh, they will be having only thousands of cashes in our hand. The rest of that in the ATM. Even though I have money in my account, I couldn't take it from the ATM because none of the 95% of the ATMs are not working.
अब पब्लिक ATM से 2,000 रुपए का नोट निकालती है, आम पब्लिक क्या करे इसमें? परचून की दुकान पे जाते हैं तो 500 रुपए के सामान से नीचे पहले खुला करते नहीं है, 200 रुपए में खुला करते हैं, वो 1700 रुपए कहाँ से देगा पब्लिक? आप
10 बच्चों के अब तक कान चोरी नहीं हुआ और आप देख सकते हैं, आपका कैमरा मौजूद है, आप कैमरा लगा के देख सकते हैं।
कितने बजे मोदी ने इतना नोट चालू करा नहीं, 6 बजे से लाइन लगा, 4 बजे से नंबर लगा रहे हम लोगों ने।